Buddy. Hey, Nicole. Nicole is the reason I'm here. She and I have worked together for 3 years now. I think so.
I think so,
And
yeah.
I'm so glad that she let Rainey know about my programs, and some of you guys I might have worked with y'all too. Can you guys see my screen? Can you see the PowerPoint or no?
Yes. Mhm.
Okay, good. Because I can't, which is always fun.
Oh, no.
Um, yeah, technology. We were just saying, you'd think we'd be pretty good at technology. Now, if I put that screen up, does that like block my face? No? Okay, great. All right, so I'm just going to run through a little bit of what I can provide for you guys as you are the front lines working with these families. So if you have any questions, just put it in the chat. I cannot see you at the same time as I'm seeing my slides because I feel like I was better at this when it was the pandemic. I think they've changed things. All right. So this is, we're talking about family engagement, which you guys are experts at. And these are my kind of what you can tell I haven't changed this in a while. I have been a counselor for 27 years now, going on 28. I've written some books and I do some workshops. So let's talk about the why, how, and what. I'll get through these slides and then I'll take questions because that's really where the meat of this is going to come. So basically, we know that if we can get the parents involved in any way, they're going to feel more welcome and more part of their child's education. And that feeling of unwelcomeness does trigger dropouts. So the how is what you really want to know. So basically, what I do, hold on, it's driving me crazy that I can't see y'all. Hey, people. Okay. The how, people do it different ways. So some people do like one workshop and they send it out to their families and they're done. Sometimes people do it once, twice, 3 times a year and then they're done. Sometimes people do a series of parent workshops once a month. They'll do 3 or 6 sessions. Some coordinators have done a family engagement night once or twice a year where they say, hey, here are 3 links you can click on, choose one or choose more. And these are different topics, which I'll show you. But sometimes you'll get the families that want to see the workshops and they would watch all 3 of them. Sometimes they'll just watch one. So I'm going to go ahead and go to this. This is Julia Goodman. Hold on 1 second, guys. I am at work, so I have to attend to one thing. Sorry. I just got to tell a kiddo something real quick. Sorry about that. All right. So this is an email from Julia. She's in Kenton, and she sends out an email and she does same day pickup, meal pickup. I think Nicole might do that too. And then with the expectation that parents will watch the workshop. Sometimes she and other coordinators have little giveaways, like if it's on the importance of play, they'll have an Uno set. If it's on teamwork, they'll have a meal kit that the family can do together, cookie decorating. And this is actually an email I sent to Nicole. So I'm a little piecemeal here. So once I get to the questions, you guys can just go ahead and ask what doesn't make sense. But basically, what I'll do is I'll send you a link of the workshop and a survey so that parents that watch the workshop, sorry, can fill out a survey telling what they learned. That's also a way to get data for any grants you might have on the effectiveness of the workshops, and also a list of the parents that have participated so that you can incentivize them to participate. There is one change to my programming. Yes, Short Attention Theater presents shorter attention spans. So basically, they used to be 30-minute sessions. They're going down to 20 minutes. And I think that's more palatable for parents so that it's like 15 minutes, you can do anything. 20 minutes sounds like 15 minutes, they can do this. And we can get information to them in that short amount of time. Here's a list of past and present offerings. And so basically, you're sending a link of what will now be a 20-minute session. And then the parents are going to click a link to say they've watched it. The follow-up survey is like the glitter, where parents tell you what they've learned. They tell you if they're appreciative. They tell you if what they want more of, and they tell you what they got from the sessions. And I love reading these. So I know like what nuggets are the takeaways. And there's just another survey right there. And the incentivizing is you can do it with, some people do it with gift cards. Like we're going to have one drawing of somebody who, one person from whoever fills out the survey, also giving away free meals. If they're going to do a meal kit, of course, is an incentive. And there's a QR code. Man, I'm fast. But I really wanted to get through that because I can't see y'all's faces. Okay, hit me with your questions. What you got? Anyone, anyone, anyone? Nicole, do you mind talking a little bit about how you do yours? Because you can speak to the people.
Ask the same thing.
Sure. So I'll start by saying this. I don't know if this comes up on at many other people's needs assessment, but parent workshops come up as a need at both of my schools. And I've tried doing in-person workshops, which have been fine, but I feel like by the expense, the people that then don't show up, I order food, trying to figure out childcare. I don't necessarily feel like they're cost effective and well attended, etc. I know as a parent, I can't get back to school at 7 p.m. for a workshop and all that. So that's kind of where I picked up with Lisa. So it's needs assessment based. Parent workshop shows up, I think, for a lot of us. And it's like, okay, but then these parents don't actually show up to the parent workshop. So this has kind of helped me fulfill that need. So that's kind of where I started. So I do, right now I've been doing one per semester. I would like to do more. I'll get into the cost kind of on my end where that is tricky. But so I do the fall and a spring one, and Lisa has the list of not themes, topics, I guess. And I tend to go to my counselors and say, or teachers, admin, and say, which of these would be most relevant? Or the one that really was great was there was a screen, like technology.
Screen-based childhood, yeah.
So I had gone to my counselors and said, of these 15 workshops, what do you think would be most relevant? And they're like, this one, please. So I send that out, and I do it with a meal. So, and I am very clear that the number of meal spots is capped. I don't tell them how many, but I say kind of first come, first serve. And what I do is a Sam's Club, one of those pre-cooked, pre-prepared meals like the fettuccine, taco kits. So a family will get that and a bag of chips and salsa. Or I've done like manicotti and they get a loaf of bread, something simple. They just pick it up. So the incentive is kind of, you're getting 30 minutes off of cooking dinner and you're going to use that 30 minutes to watch this workshop. It's kind of the way I sell it to people. And then I give them about a week to do it. So I think that's the other thing that people in the responses have said that they like is it's not time restrictive. It doesn't have to be on a specific day. You get a whole week to do this. And I send a couple follow-up emails throughout the week. So they get the information in email to start, then they pick up their meal, or I send it home with the kids. That I think can be easier too. I've kind of gone back and forth with that. There's a paper on that says what they have to do with the code to Lisa's workshop and the post survey. And then I send an email or two follow up. Don't forget, if you haven't done the post workshop or post survey, please do that. And then ding, 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 everybody, grant talk. That survey, Lisa gives me rights to edit. So we kind of work together on that post survey, and that's what I use for my impact report. And it literally pulls the data right for me of like parents saying, yes, this helped me learn this. 9 out of 10, I can kind of tweak that survey to get impact report results that make my life really easy. So it's fulfill my needs assessment stuff. I wish I could do it monthly. The tricky thing for me is the cost of the meals. So actually I'm working with my administrator at both schools to see if we can get some sponsors to cover meals, a realtor, somebody in the community that would want to kind of take that on, because I tend to cap it at the meal part at about 20 to 25 families. As many as want can watch the workshop, and I say that. But I would love to be able to offer it, twice a semester more, but it's the meal piece that I'm trying to figure out the cost for. So yeah.
And thank you, Nicole. And I know that, when we started, I think, it kind of morphs as you see your school's needs. But I think all of us that work in schools, you do the planning for the parent workshop. You're stressing out about first of all, the content of the workshop, the childcare, who's going to show up, the weather that night. And this is, I call it like on demand. If a parent can listen to it on the way home, they can listen to it while they're cooking dinner. And it's just more of like Nicole said, I can't get to my kids' school. But parents want the training. Like we train our teachers, we train sports people, we train corporate, corporations have trainings. Parents need training and they want it. And I have a ninth grader and I work with 600 elementary schools students for the past 28 years. The stories make them feel like they're not alone. We all have the moments where, like, my daughter literally has sat on the hood of my car as a power play to get me not to leave when she's having a tantrum. They like hearing that professionals like us are dealing with the same thing. I have kids in my school that are crawling under tables. I love to tell parents, listen to the school. When you're hearing it too many times from too many people, we want to partner with you. And so because I'm out of the scene, I'm just as, this mom counselor from Georgia, I feel like they find it relatable. And I try and make it fun and I try and make it light with different videos. I use other professionals' videos, other professionals' ideas, and we have to steal each other's ideas. It's for the benefit of kids. So I do, and I encourage you to, and I encourage parents to. You can also do this, like, yes, these are my programs, but you can do it with me one session, and you can have a local person one session, video them for 20 minutes. You're not having to create the content. That's the bonus because you have too many plates spinning. And the parents they want help. We're in a time where we all need all the help we can get because the world is cray cray. So, my most popular topics are managing big behaviors, anything screen based, and I'm open to ideas from you guys. I think parents want to know about how to communicate with their kids, how to deal with temper tantrums, how to deal with school success, or how to deal with teachers. So I'm open to any ideas, but I do think this is win-win. You can also share it with your staff. So I don't know if on your evaluation you have to, some people have to like share with staff, do some staff development or communication with staff consultation. It's better if the teachers and the parents are speaking the same language and hearing it, from one person. So I'm open to ideas, but I like to work with the Kentucky Frisks. Do y'all call yourself Frisks? Perfect. I've been, some of you guys might have seen me at Victory Over Violence. Is that what it's called? Am I getting it right? I used to go to VOV every year, but now they won't pay people to come in and I just can't afford to come on in on my own buck. But I love talking to you guys, to school counselors, to parents, because it's hard. It's hard. It's a hard time to be a parent. It's a hard time to be an educator. And so you can check off this box. The cost, if you get PTAs involved, if you get sponsors involved, if you, I can talk to Rainey about getting like some sort of district price situation. Nicole, I think you partnered with another school the first year, right?
Yes, I did. Actually, years ago, Wellington and I did one. Yes, that was, I think Morgan and we did
Yes.
a live one. And are you still doing live ones?
I haven't really done live ones.
The pre-recorded has, I think, done the trick for me better.
The pre-recorded, I think, works better because sometimes I'll do like, put in the chat your answer and no one wants to answer. So I'm like talking to the computer. Yeah. I'd rather just talk to the computer and record myself talking to myself. That has seemed to work. And again, I'm going to narrow it down, do 20 to 30 minutes. But I was always like trying to get the content up to 30 minutes and I'm just going to drop that. I think all of our attention spans have decreased. So I think 20 minutes, we can get it done. And I think that sounds less intimidating to parents too. Like I can do that for 20 minutes. And the parents seem to get a lot out of it. And I love the partnership.
Lisa, I will say a couple of, just as you were talking, I thought of a couple other things. I found that this has pulled in some people to my programming that maybe typically wouldn't be an FRC family. That, I think people often think we have to help the families that maybe are economically disadvantaged, but this has pulled in some families, some of my staff families who have kids that are struggling with temper tantrum. It's pulled in not your typical FRC families, so to speak, that we serve, which I think is great. It's kind of set the message across the board that these are for everybody. So I often have people, they're like, can I do it? And I'm like, yes, anybody, So that's been great. I just pulled up my stats or whatever from the last one. I had 35 families go through our last one, which is better than any in-person, and that's who completed the post survey. So others have watched it beyond that, but I have data on the 35. And just a Fayette County, Rainey, I don't know if Lisa is a vendor with us. So she's all set up. So we do a contract for these workshops. It's quick. She gets it right back to you. So it makes it really easy peasy. So she's a wonderful vendor.
Thank you, Nicole. It's been wonderful working with you. And it's really just, you guys provide so much to these families, and anything that can make it easier, but also be impactful, and effective, that's a win for sure. Any other questions? I know everyone's spent Maycember, right?
That
I
time,
think
yes.
we say Maycember, but it started in April this year. I mean, everything's just busy and the kids are off the wall.
Yeah.
Y'all feel me on that?
Oh, yes.
Yes. When is your last day with kids?
28.
Ours is the 21st.
Ooh.
Sorry, we're on that countdown. I know. Envy.
Yes. Would you, Lisa, be able to send follow-up? Like,
Yes,
pricing?
I can send you follow-up. I think someone had a question. Yeah.
Devonda?
Can you all hear me? I don't know. You can't see me, or I don't know. This is weird, but I was just. Do we just reach out to you like this summer and maybe schedule something? Like, what do we? Is there like a process we need to do to try to get you?
Yeah, I'll send it to Rainey, but I'll
Okay.
pull up this year's, here, I'll just screen share one last thing. Because I know when I was going through those slides, I was like all over the place because I couldn't see y'all and I really wanted to. But this is the price as it stands is I have like basically the more sessions you do, the cheaper it is. But like for Nicole, oh wait, I can see you and the slide. This is fabulous. So here's what I offered this year, and I actually added, I think I had 11 at the end of the year. I'll give you what I like my most recent offerings, because like if I go back too far, it'll be talking about like the pandemic, which isn't relevant anymore. Isn't that weird that we almost have forgotten what that was like? We feel the repercussions, but so what I'll do is I'll send out my offerings, and like you can see, the first session is $350, but if you do 3 sessions, it's $725. So it just gets cheaper the more you do. But if you do 1 session and it's $350, and then you decide to do a second session later on, I'll make it be $500 for, you would only pay $150 for the second one. And so my contact information is here, but I'll send Rainey a more compact flyer that she can send out to y'all. And basically people usually just email me directly. And every district is different. Some people want quotes, some people want invoices. And I think for you guys, I just send you an invoice. And then y'all send it to whoever, and then they send me a check. There might be a PO involved. I don't know. Literally every district is different, but it runs pretty smoothly. And they've got my vendor number. And I also, on that, what I send Rainey, I will also send a form for you guys to give me topics that you're interested in. Because I'll be creating content this summer. And I'll, I can give you lists of what I've done in the past that have hit home. Um, and we'll go from there. But yeah, you can just email me directly. If we work something out with the district for different pricing, then Rainey will keep you on top of all that.
Absolutely, yes. And Devonda, I think what you would do is once you and Lisa have picked a date and a topic, you would do a contract. And then once you'll do your PO and invoice, and then that will cover all of, the payment side of things.
Yeah,
Rainey,
sometimes when like we'll agree on a session and a time, and sometimes people have to email me back saying, can you change the date of the quote or the invoice? Because you might know you want to do tips for school success at the start of the year, and you might get the contract for July, but you don't do it till August. And if your bookkeeping needs me to change the dates, then just let me know. That's no big deal. And I'll typically, once I get the PO, I'll send you the link, and Nicole can work with you. Everyone, and like in Kent and Julia, everyone words it differently. But I would put, sometimes people have a form, and I can help you with this, and they send out, if you want the sessions, fill out this form, and then they're on an email list, and then they get the e-blast. You can put it in a newsletter. I would say not to put it maybe on Facebook or social media, just because then it's sort of proprietary information out there for everyone who doesn't pay for it. But Nicole can help you with how she's done it more specifically, but I can also help you.
yeah, I tend to publicize that I'm having this workshop, and then they have to sign up on a Google form. And then all of it is electronic. It's very simple once I update the Google form for each workshop. And so I'll get the 25 in on that Google form, and then I'll just take all those email addresses and email them. Make sure you pick up your meal on this day. I BCC them so they can't see other people's email. And this is the time you've signed up for. So I have a QR code and a link that the families sign up for this. The main flyer goes out to in our newsletter, all of that, but then they have to sign up, and then that's who I actually send the workshop to. So
Good question. Good question.
Thank you all.
And correct me if I'm wrong on this, Rainey, but this is one of the contracts that this summer I'll do, because I know I'm going to do a couple. So I'm just going to make a contract and say parent workshops during the 25-26 school year. And Lisa, because she's my girl, will sign that, get that done in August, so that when workshop comes up, we'll probably do like October and April. Contract is done. And I just email her and say, hey, we're going to do this topics, tips for school success. She emails me the link. And the nice thing about this is it's flexible within my school calendar. So I'll put it on a date, but if I have to change it, it doesn't bother Lisa if I send it a day later, or it's very flexible, because you don't have a live person that has to be there. Like I had the snow days mess it up this February, I think. So I just bumped it back a week and bought my food a week later. So it gives you some flexibility in that way too.
Yes, no, that makes sense. And absolutely, that is completely allowable. Really, what the contract will do is say, we're not going to pay Lisa any more than this. And then whatever Lisa provides you is within that. So yeah, that is good.
Yeah. It's been a great partnership, and the bonus is just partnering with these families. And when I'm talking to them, I feel like I'm friends with them. Like I feel like they're like, oh, there's Lisa again. Even though I'm talking to my computer, I'm talking to all these families in Kentucky. It's fantastic.
I have a question.
Yes, Laura.
So, Nicole, when you and Morgan partnered up, how did that work?
We did that. That was years ago. And at that point, Lisa was doing in person on Zoom, but at a specific time. So we did a workshop like at 6 p.m. on a Thursday night. And it was kind of like this, like she came on and gave her presentation, and it was good. I just found that because of the set time, not as many people were able to attend. So, and anyway, we just, in terms of logistics, Morgan and I just put out basically the same information to our two schools. We, at that point, I think we shared the cost of one of us did the contract maybe and put both of us on. I can't remember all of that, where we each did a contract for half of the amount. I can't remember those logistics. But we agreed on a topic. And again, at that point, it was in person. So that's kind of why, and I think the in person, because Lisa had to be physically there to answer questions, the cost was a little different. So we split that. But I found that the pre-recorded get better attendance because, again, people can be on their treadmill or at their kid's baseball game and have it in their ear and listen. So
Yeah, and after, I know, Rainey, you're recording this, and after it goes out to everybody, if you want to get kind of gauge how many schools want at least 2 workshops, I can certainly discount if there's more schools, discount it even further than just having the multiple sessions.
That's great. Thank you.
Yeah. And anytime I know, there are people now I've worked with for 5 years, because this was born out of the pandemic. Just any other things, like if you ever, have a certain topic, or if you have a social emotional learning night, and you want me to be live in a room doing a session with your parents. I love the creativity that you guys bring, and any ideas I'm open to. I do have a couple of middle school workshops, and I've done high school workshops too, but the elementary parents attend more. They just do, but I'm happy to provide middle school and high school. Now that I have a high schooler, she's going to be a sophomore. She's driving. Lord, it's terrifying.
Dread that.
Oh yeah, it is terrifying. But having, you're kind of in whatever grade your kid is in, so I'm going into 10th grade pretty much. But I'm so happy to be here and talk to you guys and just brainstorm ideas. And I can Rainey, I'll send you over some information that you can send out after this.
And I'll try to garner some interest and get back to you on that too.
Okay, fantastic.
Thank you all so much. Nicole, thanks for the connection.
Thanks,
And Lisa,
Nicole.
thanks so much for being here. I used a couple of your books when I was in the school counseling role, and so it's like meeting a celebrity.
Oh,
So thank you so much.
very cool. It's so nice to talk to you guys. Hang in there. We got this. We got this.
We got this.
We're on the downhill slide, and I look forward to hopefully working with many of you guys in the future.
Bye.
Bye, guys.